Hi guys, Amanda Manus here and welcome to episode 10 of The Run. Today we're talking about your power and if you're giving your power away when you're looking after your health. It's pretty easy to do and we all have done it or do it at some stage. And I suppose I just wanted to help you recognize when you're giving that power away and how you can take some of your power back when you're looking after your own health and well-being. So if you think about your, hi Annie Kay, if you're thinking about your own personal power, so if you think about a balloon, and every time that you do something that gives someone else your power, you're kind of letting a little bit of your balloon go, a little bit of air out of that balloon. And the more we keep letting air out, sorry, there's a little thing floating around in the sky there. There we go. So the more we let that air out, the more disempowered we feel, the more we feel like things can't change, the more we feel like we have to just accept the way things are. And that's not always the truth. It's just the perspective that's the only perspective we can see because we've got no power left. So what we've got to do is fill that balloon back up with our air. So if you think of your air as if you're being authentic, if you're using your own integrity, and if you're being responsible, then if you're doing all that, you'll fill your balloon back up with air. Hi Annie. So if you're, when you're power mode. If you're being authentic with your health, like if you're doing something, a health professional tells you to do something, and it just doesn't feel right for you, it just doesn't sit well in your gut. If it doesn't feel like you, then you're letting some power go. So you just need to speak up and say, look, I'm probably not going to do that. Like if they say you've got to do something every day and you know plain as day that that's just not going to happen for you, then actually saying, look, that's not going to work for me, what else can I do, automatically gives you some power back and changes that whole conversation. Rather than you going, oh, that's not going to happen, this is pointless, and leaving it there, then you can actually kind of start to claw some of those things back. And when you're using that integrity, I suppose when you're, listening to your, coming at health from the whole perspective, like you're listening to your whole body, you're being kind of, all your decisions are like the moral and ethical stuff is coming into it, and you're supporting your own beliefs around that. Then you're coming at your health from your own personal integrity. So we have sheep. I eat our sheep. I've got a lot of clients that don't eat meat and don't like to eat meat. I'm not going to start to tell these people to eat meat. And if you are a vegetarian and people are telling you need to do that to restore your iron levels and blah, 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 then that's, if that's your belief that you don't want to do that and you start doing it just because you should, then you're letting some of your power go. So making sure that you are allowing your own integrity to come into your health and wellbeing plans. And also then finally, the responsibility side of things. So can't let your checkup slip. You can't, ignore your symptoms. And if you know what you've got to do, but you can't seem to be getting there to do it, then you need to ask for support. And once you start doing all of those things, you can finally start to feel in control and feel like you have some power in looking after yourself. It's easy for health professionals to say, yep, do X, Y, and Z and let you go on your way. But unless you actually start to use your own voice and say, is that is that really going to work for me? Or I don't really understand what you're saying, or is there another way, because really that sounds really hard. Or even just saying, look, I don't get what you're saying. I don't understand you. I was talking to a friend this morning, and she said that, well, her little guy got sick overnight, and she said she kind of knew, but she didn't listen to her gut, and that bit was fine. I said, oh, you know, maybe it's time that he sees a specialist. And she said, oh, I've actually brought that up with the GP before, but he doesn't reckon he needs to. And like, just letting, like, you know, giving that GP the control to say, yep, this is what the GP thinks is done and final. When issues keep happening, you've kind of got to call them on it and say, look, we've been through this a couple of times now. I'm not getting any answers. I really want to speak to a specialist. It's you know, it shouldn't offend the GP, because the GP isn't a specialist. So if you're asking for more information, that's not offensive. That's being empowered and looking after yourself. Obviously, you want to do it in a way that is kind and considerate and caring. You know, I don't trust you, give me a referral to the GP. But if you come at it like, you know, I'm still having ongoing issues, this isn't resolving, you're saying there's nothing more you can do, can I go and see someone else? And, you know, 99.9% of the time they'll say, sure thing. So when you're looking at rebooting your own power in looking after your health, so you can feel empowered, so you know that there is something else you can do, make sure you're acting authentically, with integrity, and being responsible. And that's it today, guys. Hope that was helpful. Let me know. Okay, see ya.